Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of Golden Droplets. My name is Ricardo Valls. I am the president and founder of Valls Geoconsultant and also a professional geoscientist registered in the province of Ontario, Canada. Today I will continue talking about how geology can use Excel. And please note that right now you can access the subtitles of this presentation in Spanish by selecting the CC icon at the bottom and select the language. It's in English and in Spanish. So let's start as usually by sharing my screen. And we will be using the same data as last week. I will put this file in a public reservoir so you can download it and work with it at your own pace. So remember always to keep your original data in a separate tab. So no matter what you do to what transformation you do, you can always revert back to the original data. You convert this data into a table just by pressing Ctrl-T. Now, the first thing we're going to see today is auditing. And sometimes we receive data and we need to check the quality of the data before start working with it. Usually Excel is intelligent enough to show you with these little green triangles that your cell have some problem. For example, this column here is supposed to be a multiplication of gold by silver. But if you check here, you can see this just a number. And in this case, the multiplication was done between gold and arsenic. So if you have a small data set like this one, you can just click and choose and select and correct the errors. But if you have hundreds and hundreds of rows, this is the best way to do it. So you select the column, okay? Then you go to find and select, or just press F5, go to special, and here you select column differences and click OK. And as you can see, the program have selected your two columns that have the problem. You can fill them with a color, so it will be easier to see. And when you finish this thing, you just go to the filter and you say filter by color, select the color, and here you have the rows that you really need to fix. So it's very, very easy to do. The next thing that we're going to be looking at is the duplicate. But before that, I'm going to show you how you can do a copy of a tab, a complete copy with everything, formatting, etc. Very easily. You just click, drag, and then press Ctrl. When you press Ctrl, you see the little plus. You let it go, and you have a perfect copy of the previous tab. So let's go and check for duplicates. So to check for duplicate, you just select the table, and then you just go to data, remove duplicates. And I suggest that you select all. So we're going to make sure, absolutely sure that it's a duplicate. You select OK, and the machine immediately find the 3 duplicates and eliminate it from your data set, and you're done. Another common situation is when you have blanks in your data set. So again, you select all the columns, you press F5, or you just go to Home, Find, Select, go to Specials, and now you select blanks, and you click OK. All the blanks are selected. And again, from Home, you just go to Delete, Rows, and your data is ready. It's very fast, very simple. Another interesting situation is the data validation. And this works better when you are entering the data and you want to make, or somebody is entering the data and you want to make sure that they do not make any errors by introducing a wrong number. This is especially useful, for example, if you have GPS and you know that you have only 6 digits, you can put a constraint that, you know, there cannot be more than 6 or less than 5 numbers in your column. So to do that, you just select the column and go to data validation. And here you just, in setting, you establish which are the controls that you want. You can put a message and you can put also an error alert. So this is very simple to do. Also in the range of adding data to prevent any errors, once you have your table like this and you want, for example, to introduce here a number, you just press Alt and the down arrow. And then you can just select which number you want or which letter you want, etc., etc. So it's very good. Now, let us now continue with a very useful option of Excel, which is called the goal seek, which is also under what if scenarios. Let's assume that we have some information from a deposit. We know the volume of the ore body. We know the density, we can determine the tonnage, but we have not received yet the result from the lab. But even now, we can use this program to determine if the result will be interesting enough to continue the exploration of this target. So let's say that we would like to have a profit of $2 million from this situation. What should be the grade in order to be able to get the 2 million profit? So for that, we go to the what if, goal seek. We set the cell that we want to determine as this one here, the B12. We want, as I said, to obtain $2 million. And we want to estimate this by changing the grade. So once we have selected the 3 parameters, just click OK. And the program says that in order to get $2 million of profit, we need grades that are equal or above 3.5 grams per ton. So this is a really useful thing. Another useful graphic is the trend forecast. Let's say that we have been collecting samples, you know, soil sampling in a very difficult terrain, and you know, for weeks 1 to 9, we have been collecting these amounts every week, and we would like to get an idea when the program will be finished. So for this, we select all the data, go to data, and forecast sheet. And here we have the graphic that tells us, you know, the most probably, the best results, and the low results. So with this, we can estimate when the program will be finished. We can increase the date of the forecast in the future. We can leave that graphic there. And we have our forecast. The next one is a very useful tool. It's called the Quick tool. And for this, the only thing we need to do is to select all the data. And when we do this, you will see this little icon here. So you click on the icon. And here are all the things that you can do with this thing. You can do formatting, you can do charts, you can establish totals, you can convert it to a table, you can do spark lines. Spark lines are very fun. Let's check on spark line, and I want to make a line. And here, in just one click, you have the behavior of all these lines with respect of all the samples for all the elements. So explore the Quick tools is a very useful way of processing your data very quickly. And see, you can have average. That's it, the average for each of these things. So it's a very useful quick tool. It's called quick tool to have an idea of your data. This situation, at least I found it very frequently. When I have samples that should be numbers, and there some of them are as text, or not only samples, there are sometimes values. And a text could be that it was introduced with an apostrophe at the beginning, which means that this is a text, or it was formatted as a text. So of course you can each do this one by one, but there is a very interesting way of doing this thing. So first of all, type one someplace in the sheet and copy that. Then select the data, go to paste special, and multiply, and click OK. As you can see, it converts all the text to numbers. It's a very quick way to solve this problem. And finally, since we are talking about text, probably you don't know this, but Excel has a spell checker, which is just you select the text and you press F7. And if there are any problems with your data, it will show it up and you can fix it. So this is the end of episode number 6. As always, please subscribe so we can get to the 1,000 subscriber limit that will allow me to do this live. Remember that now you have the closed caption in Spanish. Once again, thank you for your attention, and I will see you next week, where I will be showing you how I process geochemical data using Excel. It's a very, very large table, probably going to take us a couple of episodes. So have a great day.